Good afternoon, Facebook land. Thank you for joining us. If you're here for Lunchtime Live and the Ruddy Duck and its tail turned up, you're in the right spot. We are opening with a shot of the tidal linkage just slightly south of the visitor center, if you've been here before. And you can see that it is a sunny day here in Imperial Beach, and the tide is actually dropping, but it was so high we still have a pretty full channel in the tidal linkage. Hi Mark, thank you for tuning in. And you can see there's a pretty good breeze today that's blowing that surface water of the tidal linkage as the tide is dropping. I hope everybody can hear me okay. We are out here, myself and Robin, socially distanced. She will be bringing you the program today, and I am not mic'd as we have saving the mic for her. So let me flip this around and welcome you to Lunchtime Live. My name is Maria. I'm an education specialist, research assistant here at the Tijuana River National Estuary Research Reserve, or Tijuana Estuary for short. Mark, thank you for the feedback on the sound. And we are out here along the tidal linkage on the south side, just south of the visitor center, in the area where we brought to you National Public Lands Day. And I checked on the 3 plants that Debbie planted that day, and they're doing great. So I hope everybody is settled in and ready for Lunchtime Live. And today we will be discussing and sharing with you the Ruddy Duck and its tail turned up. And so once a month roughly we highlight a bird species, and it's so challenging because we can't present them to you live like we do the plant species. However, we are along the tidal linkage, and we did have a couple of mallards that were here before we signed on. Maybe they'll come back, but as you know, it's noontime and there aren't, it typically is not a great time for birding. The helicopters are with us today. There is a slight breeze and the sun is out and it's a lovely day. Hi Anne, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions related to today's topic, feel free to write them in the chat and I will direct them to Robin at the end or throughout. If you are joining us later when this is not live, you are always welcome to share comments and questions as I go back in and respond to them later. And for those of you that are birders out there, if you've captured any ruddy ducks on film or digital, feel free to share them with us. We love to see what you have in your collection. And just as a quick introduction, as far as birding goes here at the Tijuana Estuary, does anyone know what time of year would be the best time to see the biggest variety of species? And I know there's a slight delay. There's a little bit of a lag. I'll wait for someone to share that. What time of year would you find the most species of birds here at the Tijuana Estuary? So a lot of the bird species, we have over 370 species of birds found on the bird list. And hi Sonia. And most of them, about 320 of them, are migratory. And let's see, winter, yes, or now, right. So the largest part of that migratory category, the bird species that migrate, the biggest migration happens in the winter. So and into the early spring is when they start to head back north. So a lot of the migrants, bird species, they travel from Alaska and northern Canada, where they spend the spring and summer laying eggs, raising chicks, and fattening up for their migration south. And they come here or keep going, stopping along the Pacific Flyway. So the Tijuana Estuary sits along the Pacific Flyway, and many of those migratory species either stop here or overwinter here for a short duration before they head back north. And many of them are the waterfowl, like the Ruddy Duck. So today Robin is going to bring you the story of the Ruddy Duck. So let us flip the camera around so that Robin, and you guys can hear her and see her. And there she is. So I'll plug in the mic and let us know if you can hear Robin all right.
Hi everybody. I'm going to take this down. Nobody's around. So today I'm talking about the Ruddy Duck. And they don't seem to be here just yet. We've got some mallards coming down the tidal linkage. Maybe we'll be lucky enough to at least see them. So Ruddy Ducks are part of a group called waterfowl, and that includes birds like
She says louder. It's loud.
louder.
It's not. Yeah, maybe hold it up. Or yeah, there.
Okay, I'm gonna hold this. Maybe you guys can.
Oh, sound is low. Sound is low.
How's that?
Is it on?
It is on. Should I push the plus? It's a plus.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, can you guys hear me better yet? How about now?
Hold on. Keep talking.
Okay,
Wait, keep talking. Like,
okay.
can you hear me?
Yeah, can you guys hear me? It's kind of hard because of the wind and the helicopters. Hopefully this is working today. Put your thumbs up if you can hear.
Not better. Okay.
Okay, is it better now? Can you guys hear me?
Can come.
I could turn this off and back on.
Yeah, turn it off and back on.
Okay.
Oh, how funny.
Hi, can you guys hear me better now?
Okay, try putting it up. Try putting it up higher on your collar.
Maybe I can stick it to my mask.
Or on the collar. Should be on the maybe on the collar. And then maybe pull your mask, down. Okay, try that.
Can you guys hear better now?
We can hear, just not loud.
All right, I'm just going to talk as loud as I can. I'm going to wait for this helicopter to leave. Okay, so Ruddy Ducks are part of a group called waterfowl. And coots and grebes. They all come in the fall. They like it here in the estuary because it's, the weather's great here and the food is abundant. So that's what the fall migration is all about, coming where it's warm and there's lots of food. So the Ruddy Duck, I'm going to show you a picture of what you might see. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's this is a female. They have this black top of their head, and it's usually kind of peaked. And they have kind of a scooped beak with little strainers on the side to strain their food. This is a female, but this is kind of what the males look like in the winter as well. Now, the trick is, as soon as it gets just about breeding season, you'll see them here looking like this. This is a male, and you can see that pointy little head and the cheeks turn really white, and this beautiful chestnut, shiny feathers. But the thing that you're always going to notice about a ruddy duck is this stiff, upright fan tail. They kind of bob around like little boats with a wind rudder. So a little bit about ruddy ducks. There are two kinds of ducks. There's dabbling ducks and there is diving ducks. And here comes some mallards in front of pan. So the mallards are dabbling ducks. You never see them go all the way under the water. They just kind of stick their heads under to eat. A diving duck, of course, goes all the way under the water, and you may not see them for a few seconds because they're down there swimming before they pop up again. A ruddy duck is a diving duck, and one of the differences is that a diving duck's legs are further back on its body, which makes it a more agile swimmer. But on land, they're kind of uncoordinated. So if you see a diving duck on land, you might actually think there's something wrong with it. Whereas if you see a dabbling duck, like a mallard, they're running all over the place on land. The other difference is that a dabbling duck, like a mallard, can just take off and fly. And so when predators come, that's what they do. They fly. Whereas a diving duck, they can't just take off like that. They have to run along the water and then take off, kind of like an airplane on a runway. So it's all because of that leg placement. Now, if there's a predator, the mallard will just fly off, whereas a diving duck, like the ruddy, will prefer to dive and swim away from predators. You're mostly going to see the ruddy duck sleeping, and that's because they like to do their eating at night. They eat at night and they also fly at night. So mostly you're going to see them sleeping. Now the coots and the grebes like to take advantage of that, and they kind of do this thing called submarining, and they'll swim underneath the ruddy duck and bop him from underneath. So it's a naughty little thing that ducks like to do. So when the ruddy ducks are feeding, sometimes you'll see them in the evening feeding, and during migration, they mostly eat aquatic plants. But when it gets close to breeding season, they start eating more protein. So they'll eat their crustaceans and their insects. And sadly, we are not going to get to see them. We'll see their breeding plumage before they fly back to the prairies of North America in the spring to breed, but we won't ever get to see their courtship, which is really interesting. The males do this thing where they take their beak and they beat their chest with it. And when they do that, they create all these bubbles on the water. And then, at the end of that, they like to punctuate that with a big, loud burping noise, which I guess the girls find attractive. And then they decide to show that they can walk on water, and they go running across the water and make this slapping, popping noise, and that's their courtship. Now, once they pair up, they pair for the whole season, so they're monogamous for a season, and they build a nest that is really big for the size of birds they are, because they're a very small, compact duck. And they build this huge nest. It's starts with a platform that's just a couple of inches above water, and the platform will rise and fall with the tides, and then they make a big grass bowl on it, and their eggs are also really large. They're the largest of the ducks in relation to the size, and they are white and kind of have a pebbly texture to them. Now when the babies hatch, they're really well developed, which is, you might remember, is called precocial. So they can pretty much take care of themselves. They need minimal care and only for a short while from their mothers and none from their dads. So it's okay that the males have those bright colors because they leave, and the females and the babies have the dull colors for camouflage. So there's not too much else to say about them, except one pretty extraordinary thing, and that is that they've been around for 11,000 years. Maybe because as ducks go, they're pretty aggressive, kind of like geese. They've been known to chase rabbits that get too close to shore where they're feeding. And I think the oldest one to date was 13. So they can live a long time, although in the prairies people hunt them. Not here, of course, because it's a wildlife refuge. So they're just here so you can see their beautiful blue beaks and their funny tails. And that's about it for today.
All right. All right. Thank you, Robin. And just one more beautiful shot of the channel for you before we say goodbye. There we are. And this is a dropping tide. So we are experiencing our extreme tides of the year, and the tidal linkage is an excellent place to see those, swimming waterfowl that visit us this time of year. So if you have it in you and have the means and can do it safely, this is a great place to get outdoors and observe some nature and share in the sunshine, which we all need quite a lot of these days in order to get through this challenging time. So, again, thank you for joining us today for Lunchtime Live. And although this is the first Lunchtime Live of December, we made it all the way to December when we started this program. Wasn't sure we'd go this far, but and it's been a real pleasure. It is the last Lunchtime Live of the year. So we'll be taking a few weeks off, and then starting new in the new year. If you guys ever have, I never thought about to ask, if you have any suggestions of species you'd like to know more about, then feel free to send them to me via the chat in this program or any of the others, or directly to my email. I would love to hear any special requests. And yes, we will be doing one more special event, more of a webinar, live stream. On December 11th, it'll be at noon, so it'll be a lunchtime event. However, not on Tuesday, but Friday, December 11th, to learn more about king tides and specifically how the Tijuana Estuary studies and understands king tides. So you'll want to tune in for that, so that we have one more live stream for the year with that event. So it's been a pleasure. It's been a crazy year, but from it we've gotten Lunchtime Live, and I've been enjoying this time with you, and looking forward to continuing this in the new year. And with the new year, new beginnings, and maybe in-person programs once again. So thank you all for hanging in there with us. It's been a pleasure, and have a happy rest of the December, rest of the year, and happy holidays. So I will see you next year. Thanks.